everybody, this is Vicki Ross, and today we're going to work on some tags and what I call poppers. And I might come back and work on the Geisha girl. It's flexible, and this is live, so it will be quiet at times, and the chat will be quiet at times because they like to watch, pay attention. So come along for the ride, and you can fast forward through the parts that are quiet, unless you just want to watch like they do. Okay, but we're going to be quiet now for our first time because this is going to be a little bit of a this will be a time period where we wait on people to come in. Rustle. I guess I'll use that since that's the one that keeps coming up. I was looking for something to put some glue down on. Rustle. I'm still getting stuff pulled together. Let's see what we've got. I've got some blank cards. Hi, Gail. I'm just fiddling around waiting on some folks to come in. What did I do with them? Okay, they're not. Some like postcards. I'm really enjoying the office being the studio office. I hadn't had an office in several years. It's my studio. What you been up to? Anything exciting? Anything exciting? And we don't need an echo. Bye-bye. Anything exciting? And we don't need an echo. Bye-bye. Helps to put volume down, doesn't it? How's that going? I love puppies, but you've got to really be committed. Which I know you are. We're just going to sit here and wait for a minute until we get some more folks. I finished my liquid lunch. No, it's not vodka. Not this early. Yeah, it's easier when you're home, because I thought about this today. All the puppies are, puppies, hell, dogs. The older hair kids who've been used to staying home alone are going to have to completely retrain themselves to be happy alone. And the cats, of course, are counting the days until they can be alone again. Yeah, we've had really good luck with our mini schnauzers being able to train, and the rescue, bless his little heart. I wish we knew what his life had been like. We know he never slept. He always slept in a crate. And since he originally came from a breeder, we suspect he spent a lot of time in a crate. That's just our assumption based on he's still skittish. It's been since what, August last year? No. We've had him probably 6 months, 5 months, and he still has a reaction to jump back when you reach a hand to him, which is Randy's getting through, but I'm still working on it. Yeah, I wonder about adopting dogs who've been really badly mistreated and their people left them, which I just cannot imagine. I almost died in our fire trying to get our Annie out. That was what kept me going, as I just had maybe one breath left. But I was, by God, going to get that year-old schnauzer out. I just can't imagine driving off and leaving your pet on the porch. It just does not compute. It does. It takes somebody that understands, and I mean, we understand him, but I just want to snuggle with him so bad. He'll snuggle with me in the middle of the night when it's his idea. I'm trying to keep from fiddling with the desk so we can, I got to figure out when they take the screenshot for the TV. Yeah, it is. He'll jump up on the end of my recliner, but he won't cross the bridge. But yesterday he almost did. They came in from their evening walk, and when he was off his lead, he just came running and jumped right on my chair, and I think he would have come on up to my chest, but I had my computer in my lap, so he's so cute. I just want to snuggle with him all the time. Our little Minnie is not that much of a snuggler. She's like a Mexican jumping bean all over the place, and our BJ, he sits in my lap most of the time. Yeah, they'll be okay. Our Annie was, I don't know, 3 years old, 4 years old, I think, when we got Beamer. And then Beamer, gosh, she must have had 4 litters, maybe. And our pick of the litter on the last go-round was BJ. And he came into the house, and Minnie completely ignored him for about 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And she would go the long way around to get past him rather than get close to him. It was the funniest thing. And then one day we saw her on her arms leaning down with a toy, and she was actually playing with him. So from then on it got pretty good. I think I just saw Miss Rachel. Hey, Kory. How are y'all today? I'm going to make some poppers. I made a few last week, sometime last. I don't know what I did with them. I may have put them in the bucket already. But I got really involved in them and didn't get too many made. So in the great studio renovation, I found this little thing. And I hate these things because once you put stuff in there, you lose it. So I just bunches of magazine stuff back from, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago. So I pulled out what I liked. The rest of it may disappear. But this is what I found. I found when I was playing with, let me put the camera down. I was playing with nail polish marbling. Well, I'm not much of a player. I would rather watch somebody else play, and then I can come along and just do it. That's on a Ziploc. And it makes really pretty cool patterns, but it really stinks up the house. I need to photograph these before I use them. And I was just using dollar store, not much to see there. Dollar store nail polish. And you get like that long to take your print. Here's another piece of the Ziploc. This one's pretty. And I suspect that the Marabou Easy Marble is similar to this. I think it's a solvent base. That one's pretty. And I've got a complete setup of doing it traditionally. When I was at HIA 4 or 5 years ago with Canvas Corp, I met the lady who kind of responsible for keeping marbling alive in the craft industry. And she got me started, and I have not touched it since then. No surprise there. Okay, put those right there. Then I found, these are from one of my old printables. Let's see what that is. Oh, it goes this way. I need to take these and rework them for what we're doing now. There's another little village. I think both of those are Randy's. He's very abstracted. Come on, focus, focus. There. Those are from his watercolors. And this is from one of my oils. They make good postage stamps. Another one of my oils. Obviously, it's not the whole thing. You can't really identify it, except you can kind of see some buildings. There's another abstracted one. I'm not sure what that is. I guess it's houses. So I found those. Found a couple of tags and this little leather thing. That'll make a great popper. And then I found fussy cut flowers that I have done on another old printable. And I'm going to do what you did, Rachel. I'm going to come back in on these and put a background behind them, even if it's just a flat color. Whoops. So these are all from paintings. Going all the way back to when I started. I was still doing my serious stuff then. That's a Charles Reed style flower. And another. And another. Could be that way. Those eggs aren't mine. Here's a tulip. And let's see. Here's some tulips. And I don't know, maybe a camellia. And another tulip. And a real contemporary looking rose. Well, I mean, you know, abstracted. Gonna have to quit dropping stuff, girlfriend. And there's one. I printed all these on glossy paper back when we had a high-end color Xerox. And then for some reason I did just eyes. I just decided that I would use the eyes that I've painted here and there. Those are mine from a self-portrait. The cigar thing. Another eye. Another eye. You know what's funny is I can tell you who these people are by looking at their eyes. Except that one. I'm not real sure about that one. So anyway, those are things I found. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's like we talked about yesterday, Kory and Rachel. There are so many irons in the fire that I just sit and spin. I mean, all the work that went into doing these printables, what, 6 years ago, maybe? And now they're just sitting there and they can be used. Put all that up. Now, for those of you who weren't here the other day, this was I don't know, I think about an hour maybe. And she needs at least another hour, maybe hour and a half. But the fun part is going to be figuring out using this negative painting I did in here and leaving the yellow parts of the background to be the pattern in her kimono. That'll be fun. And then, of course, most of that will be left. But I am really having fun with this journal, but I'm going to put it up now. And depending on depending on my boredom level, I found this too. Oh, that's what I did the other day. This is from probably 4 or 5 years ago when, what is going on with my camera? And we've got a flash problem. I'll just hold it. I know part of it. I've been playing with my camcorder again. Anyway, this is done with a composition book. And this is a painting that I did and where I did it in France. And it's just my iteration in the very beginning of junk journaling. But I was doing pockets. I think that's a pocket. Yeah, there's a pocket. An envelope. But now that's some grunge. That almost looks like mud. Stamps. And I don't remember. Maybe I didn't take pages out. I don't know. No rhyme or reason, just stuff. But it's fun. I just got to get around that nasty looking paper. Oh, wait a minute. That's intuitive scripting, and I don't remember doing it before, Robyn. Oh, I know what I did. This was on the beginning of the Mythos, the 1 year thing, and I decided to try to use this book. Yeah, that's what it was. Isn't that neat? I got a postcard. That I know was before. She didn't start that till this year. It's ugly, but it's fun. I think that's as far as I went. And then when we were in Monet's garden, Randy's job was to take a bunch of pictures because he can't sit still long enough to do a whole lot of painting. He'll sit down for 30 minutes and knock out 1 or 2, and then he's off. Yeah, I did. I glued a bunch of pages together. Oh, and these are painted. I painted these with acrylic paint. Anyway, I just can't get beyond those colors. Ugh. All right, that's enough of that. And then on the back. I just thought y'all might enjoy seeing that. Hey, Joycey. Oh, that's a fun thing. Did you get to picnic with your lover? Here are the little things I made. Last time we met, I added some stuff to this little tag. And yeah, this was a card, packaging card, I think had batteries or something. And like Robyn said, you can cut off a piece of it and just use it. And this little thing developed out of a Listerine mint packaging. And I cut a tab and a hole. And there's the outside of it. This is the paper from a China marker when you pull the string. So, and then you open it up and it's got these little accordion books. So that'll be cute. And it's got some of my inkjet dyed paper. So that's where I lost my time last time I was doing some little poppers. And they are good to have, and this thing doesn't really work, but I can probably cut it off and make it work a little better. So those are ready for the picking bin. And I got this card from Jersey, Laura Schimmel. She's from the she's the Jersey crafter. I call her Joyzy, and she just did a little thing of welcome to the. Of course, I've been watching her for a year, but that's okay. And a piece of cardboard that can be used for something. So, what are we going to do first? First thing I'm going to do is put all these little things that I found in my small scrap drawer or bucket. Otherwise, they'll be all over the floor, and you will be happy to know I've been picking up stuff in the floor since I the scraps. Got everything cleaned up in here. Now, I still need any ideas that y'all have for these. All of the paper towels, mop-up pages. These are all paper towels with ink and whatnot. And they're all bundled right here in this little container. I don't know what to do with them. Let's see, we still got a little bit of glare. Okay, that should have gone in there. We'll put it right here. Okay, these are the two tags that I found. Trying to watch my glare here on this new Timmy glass thing. I'm like you, Rachel. You've been a bad influence on me. Found these on sale. The big one was $28 and free shipping, and the small one was $20. $20, and it included the sleeve to put it in. Are you kidding me? I wasn't gonna pass that up. Okay, I'm gonna keep out the small scraps and let this one sit right here. I'll get organized, maybe. Now, let's just dig in. I've got 2 bottles of this. I did some stuff with some classes with Tracy Bautista, gosh, 3-4 years ago, and I had to have her stuff. And this bottle wasn't big enough, so I've got the bigger bottle. So I think it's time to use it. I like using come on now. I need my flat palette knife. There it is. There's 2 in there. Can you find one when you want it? No. Make sure y'all can see. So this is what I've been doing with dry media. It's just putting down a real thin coat, like we do on the jelly printing with Robyn. I'm talking about Robyn McClendon. a scraper. I know right where it is. Learning where I put everything is the hardest part of this project, the cleaning project. Oops. You got to be careful not to tear stiff. Okay, now you need to settle down. Thinner the better. This looks like a little brown diaper. I don't always put a coat on top because these won't get wear and tear. They're going to be in a journal. But right now, at this point, I really am enjoying using the palette knife and a bare minimum of stuff. And that way it doesn't take so long to dry. Yeah, just pop that little thing right on over. And we have a start. Here's a piece of oh wait, wet wipe. And what I've been doing in the journal is just deciding where I want it and then start with the glue. And that way it lines it up easier for me. Robyn makes little marks, pencil marks, and then it falls off. So that didn't help at all. I hope I'm not breaking rules. I'll probably be on the glass part. Ugly little piece of wet wipe with a little bit of color. Saved it. Want not, waste not, or waste not, want not, I guess. That's it. Okay, now I've got some napkins. I want to use some try to find some that are already I need something to get water with. Not 10,000 brushes in here and not a one at hand. Okay, so wet cut. This is the coolest thing ever. You don't have to tear through 2 layers. One will be enough. My nose always runs when y'all are in the house. We refilled the Epson EcoTank printer last night for the first time in 2 years. And lately, y'all know how much I've been printing. Got a straight edge here, so I'm just going to use it. And that fits on there pretty good, except why? We just covered up that beautiful piece. Let's put it here. Now this is where I've had better luck with this method. Real thin. Now just lay that back down. Because napkins tear so easy. When I first started doing this, all I knew was take the bottle and squirt a bunch of it down on your tag or whatnot. And then squirt it again, put more on top. Took forever to dry. Now to keep from doing what I did earlier. These are fragile little pieces. There, isn't that cute? And all these raggedy things I'll trim off some other time. I mean, when it gets dry, not some other time, goose. Should have thought about this beforehand. I'm not going to risk it. It's fun right there. I think this is niece Jessie. Little piece of a tie-dyed doily. At this rate, I think I'll run out of scraps in about 2024. Oh, yeah. I've been getting back into film editing for these little 10-minute tapas I'm doing. Which meant get everything loaded up. These were supposed to be in the other bin. You know, scratch discs, and your scratch disc is full. And I used to operate with a 2 terabyte hard drive, and now I've got an SSD, which is small storage, which is fine. I've got everything moved to the cloud and have for several years, but you got to remember where you cloud it. I'm going to put that right there. And then Lynn Wessel thought it would be funny to send me some of her scraps. I'm going to put that right up there, and then I'll trim it later. I'm not thinking too much. I'm just putting this stuff down as it pops in front of me. I need to go ahead and trim that so I can see where I am. Hi, Jessie. Got a little flower. A little VIicki flower. You have some that are fussy cut, little. Need a little one. See, we've got one on the other side. Now all this stuff will forever be mixed. And I'll never be able to find what I want. I'll pull that out because that's another small flower. Those are really too big. Too big, too big. All right, just be that way. Get a little piece of my, that's just as long. This is such cool stuff. I'm so glad I saved it. It's a great color. Very good. There will be a test when this is over, so you better pay attention and take notes. It's a little pretty piece. This was a piece of onion skin that I coffee stained for a project in the printer, and I coffee stained it first and then ran it through the printer, and the printer kind of didn't want to grab it. That works. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. I don't like getting too far ahead of myself. I know people that take pictures of their collages and put them back together. I guess maybe if I was doing it for real. Yeah, man, just put it down. Now what I did was put the glue under the green part. Come on. I think what I'll do is put it on the flower. Want to just do the green first. And then I want to put this. I want to put this under that and over the words. Come on now, play nice. And I don't want a rabbit. That's in painting. If the rabbit's running behind the tree and it's a big tree, you better make sure that rabbit has something coming out the other side. So there's something coming out the other side. That's kind of like painting it. I did a great job on that gluing. If you see a three-legged horse in the field and you're going to paint it, you better give him another leg because it doesn't read correctly. Move that over just a hair and put some glue under it. Quit playing with it. Wonder what make all these different collage glues the same. The amount of water in the PVA. Tried to find some clear PVA last night and a pen like Robyn's and couldn't find it. I did find the clear plastic folders, and they were 30 for 15. And then I found some on Amazon Warehouse, and they were 30 for $8. So guess which ones I bought? There, now that kind of makes a little nice effect, the over and under part. And when I keep thinking that I'm wasting my time playing, I just keep saying, no, you're learning stuff that you can use somewhere else. All right, let me check on you guys. Hi, Margaret. Okay, picnic lunch was where I was. Bye, Gail. Give the puppy a hug. Oh, I am too. Tags aren't really something I do a lot of, but they're fun. And like I've explained to everybody, craft a lunch. That made a lot of noise. Not near as big a deal as it used to be. Now, slowly. Get my butt back up in my chair. And of course, the one I was going to dig in is in the floor. This is what I do with the poppers. These are some file folders I made for another project. Some library card pockets. And it's so nice to have this stuff already done. Just little things like that. Another library card. But I'm running low. And the little things are the ones I'm really running low on. So that's what I do with them. And you put that in the glue. Joycey, I need help today. See if the glue comes. Yeah, it'll come up with a wet wipe. I got the little tool that the ruler. Okay, what we're gonna do now. Here's a purple. Let's get the brush out. Purple stamped on a scrap of, I'm not sure if it's deli or onion skin. Could be either one. Rachel, did you get your son off to school yet? West Point, no less. I don't want another flower yet. Okay. I kind of like these backgrounds to be sheer. This is another stamp that I just put on old tissue paper or the back of a napkin or something. You're bound and determined to cover up that ugly piece, aren't you? It's comedy of errors today. Thank God for wet wipes. Part of my challenge in this world is to learn to slow down, and you see the effects of what happens when I don't. And I decided to raise it. Stir with love. In other words, fold the clothes without trying to multitask and do 14 other things. Oh, that's going to have to cut off. I like the way it disappears into the paper, into the tag. And now I'm going to try to see what happens. Sometimes when you put more matte medium on top, it will transfer, make the paper more transparent. I told Randy a while ago that there's absolutely nothing in my short-term memory, so don't count on me remembering a damn thing. He kind of agreed with me. Okay. But the more that I spend time in the art room and away from the Twitter, the more my brain... See, this kind of packaging is so cool. The more my brain tends to drift. That's what we're going to call it. I'm not going to worry about the corners right now. I'll use a corner rounder. I'm just going to tear this. This is an original jelly print scrap from probably 5 years ago. I can tell by the paper it's on. When I started this crazy mixed media thing, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I'm not sure I do now, but okay. We'll stay down there. It's a little heavier paper. That was before the days of finding out about deli paper. So I've got a lot of jelly prints on cardstock and stuff. That just kind of blends right in. One of the things I love about this type of collage work is it doesn't matter what colors you have. Once you've been doing this a little while, you just find all kinds of... Oh, that's a printout from my little printer. You find all kinds of things in your bin that go together. You wouldn't ever think that they would, like that. That just is cool. And tear some rough edges here. I'll put that, maybe. Works for me. Now that just needs a pop of something. Let's see what kind of washi we have. I like the red. I know you're there because I can feel you. Thought I could feel you. There it is. And sometimes you need to be sure you're sticky enough. So that your washi tape will stick. And if it doesn't, or you don't think it's going to, then fix it while you're there. Or, you know, next time you pick it. Not while you're there. I'm trying to tell you that you can always come back and do it. My brain's on holiday. I used to be able to do 4 or 5 projects at once. No more. That's on that tissue. Well, there you go. See? The tissue is holding the glue. It's soaking it up. That's why I just do this into. Yeah, see, that end stuck. So I'm not the only one in the group that has bought both of Tim's boards, even though I don't travel much. Except if this damn thing ever ends, I'll go back to Rosemary's. This still needs something. I know. My other red envelope, these are the kind of things I've been using from Sam's. These little things. And the blue one holds the poppers, things that are done. Let's see what that is. Oh, it's a bleacher ticket. How about that? Colby College, St. Joe, I guess. These things are so handy. AliExpress, they're $1 or $2 a piece. And they are handy. Got a small one. Very small ones. There's a green one. This was a 12-year-old boy's memory of his day at the baseball park. And let's see what we're going to do. I really like to have some angles going on. Like that. Like that. And I think these are stickers. Got 4 or 5 orders coming in from AliExpress. It's kind of like Christmas because you have no clue what's in them. Put some glue on this. Come on now. I know you want to. Dress for me, baby. Here we go. Da 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 da. That was my stripper song. And it was a college game. And let's see what this one is. And then And then I'll tell you the story behind it. I stayed up late the other night watching Kory, Archaeologist's um, videos. It's fascinating with her echo dyeing. Okay. Quit soaking up all my glue. Okay, this little boy, 7 years old, 8 years old. It might be Mother's Day. Stick. And they went to the ball field at Colby College, and there's his bleacher ticket, and here's his rain check ticket because it rained that day and they couldn't go to the game. So on the way home, he stopped and bought his mother a flower. And there you have it. There's the story. Now, I think I'm done with that. That's good enough for who it's for. Now let's finish this little puppy. I just think that's cute. Don't understand why I have a wrinkle though. Of all the shapers, this is my favorite. I'm reminded now why I don't like matte medium. Well, the paper has expanded because it's wet. So hopefully when it dries, it'll shrink up. Oh, that's good. I thought this was the piece on the other side, but no, it's not. This is the wet wipe. Always check both sides because you may have something really cool. Use it up. I'm unfortunately one of those people that can't really do anything until I make sure I've got everything I need. So when I was starting mixed media, it took a couple years to get everything going out. And I ended up with a bunch of stuff that I don't need. Get back on there. Okay, I do believe that'll be good. No rhyme or reason. Stay. My fingers must be stickier than the stuff. Piece of handmade paper. This is a scrap off Robyn's printable. I recognize it. When I'm making a journal page and just happen to make a folder or a pocket or something like that, I never, I'm in journal mode. I never want to stop to make a tag to fill that pocket. Rach, I hope you're staying safe up there in Washington. Although Fayetteville, Arkansas is just 30 minutes down the road from me and has one of the highest rates. You're making tags. I mean, they are tiny. Tiny scraps. Something else in my bucket. Everybody says, "Oh, I don't want to order from China. I want to keep my money in the U.S." And then you'll find on Amazon and on Etsy sellers who advertise that they've got something, and then they don't ship it for 3 or 4 weeks, and you realize that they're shipping it, ordering it straight from AliExpress, marking it up. So yeah, I think that one will be done. Need something else over here. This is a piece of the checkerboard washi tape that we all got. Oh, I think I'll take part of that. Get the part of Chinese writing and part of the flower. Lift the bottom off. Rip the top off. Yeah, I don't remember if this is a... That's not a sticker. I need something for that little corner. Already put a, no, I put the stamp on the other side, didn't I? How about a tag on a tag? I usually just stick my hand in, and the first one that comes out is the one that gets picked. I like the contrast of color here. Okay, now I know you're a sticker. I am reminded why I don't like matte medium. But I've got it and I need to use it. Okay, so we have completed you watched, completed 2 tags. And now let's do some little poppers. How about? There's a good base. Let's see if we can use one of these big honking. Oh, I see it now. You can't see it really. Okay. I'm going to put that maybe there. I think what I need to do is tell everybody, when you come over, you bring your box of scraps. And I'll work out of yours and you work out of mine. Because I bet some of y'all have some good scrap boxes. Maybe. Maybe, baby, I hear a baby. It's got some neat color on it. Holding that up like I can read French. All right, let's just start. Now on these, I don't care if my edges are loose a little, because that makes it look more like a brooch for a page. You don't want to cover up all your And see, this little edge can just stick up. Now a little bit of color. And I hear you, buddy. I'm not going to use a brad because those are a pain in the butt when you get them on your. There's a piece of shiny ribbon. I wonder if I have some that aren't brads. There's some eyelets. Yeah. Remember, this is another big. They're not that big. And they're all the same color, so. I'm going to finish this one and then go let that boy out. It says, please come sit with me. What? Popper, popper. All right, I will be right back. Hold the phone. I'm coming, buddy. Come on. Y'all get together. Back in the old days, it would have taken 20 minutes to let them outside. Okay, one little popper. Let's do another little popper. I'm going to see what y'all are doing now. Hi, Kory. Well, that'll make it safer. Where's everybody today, I wonder? They're not here. That's okay, because I get a lot of my views after the fact. Okay, let's start with something else. There's something. I may go through here and throw some of this away. Or again, maybe not. Here's some joss paper or goss paper, whatever it is. I didn't put that on the tag or that last thing, so there you have it. Woo! And you put one of these on a journal page, and it's just like, it immediately gives it a finished look. And then this one. And of course, when you put it down, if you've got another scrap laying on your desk that you just used, you just put it on here. There. Another little one. It's a cork tag. That looks like a Walmartian. Oh, good. They even gave me string. That's real cork on there, too. I knew that wouldn't work. So why'd you try it? I don't know where this came from. But we're going to use it. I said I was going to use, and there you shall be, napkins. I can tell you that this is why I never did much collage work before, especially when I would put on enough liquid to make it last. We'd do 3 or 4 projects. Okay, what we got here? We have a butterfly. I don't know where this came from. Don't forget, you just put this in your mouth and lick one side, you can get that first layer off. And then do it again. If you're lucky, you can get the second one off that way. And then you've even got a faded image on this side of that piece. So I'm going to get my magic brush. Have to go there. Let's do it on the plain side. Right there. And that's not centered. That's what you were aiming for. And I'm just going to try to glue the butterflies, or down the middle, I should say, so I can get rid of the extra. Now the magic brush. Hope y'all are working on something. Almost 5 o'clock. I'm not going to do any painting today, I bet you. It's kind of hard to shift gears when you've been doing this. Not that I can't do it. Maybe some homemade washi. I love these strips made into washi tape that you've trimmed off pages. I don't think I can tear that. Let's see. Yeah, I can. And this is using the double stick monster tape. Perfect. Pull it on down just a little. If you want to, it won't hurt my feelers. Won't put it on that side. Put it right there. I always try to leave a little bit of a hangover to make it. Once this stuff goes down, it's down. She says, back. Perfect. Oh, okie doke. What else have we got? Here's another little washi that's cute. Start with 12 inches on your desk and you end up with 12. I'm 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you could hear that or not. Choices that still make you laugh. Whoa. Nope, Robyn, I'm sorry. These are just going. I am not tearing the edge off. Just a little bit of nothing. Covering up a butterfly. Little bit, little bit, little bit. Let's do another piece of this. Such a good color. Ooh, that's a double. That's a double whammy. Okay, I'll get this little piece over here. Oh, I found I was going to show y'all let's see if I can still find it. Here it is. I told you that I took the yellow off and put it in this. Is the Sergeant Art Twistable. I guess it's there. It sort of is there. Anyway, you just put it in here, and when you use it, you just scroll it up. So that's how much too long it was. So I'll be careful when I use it. But I like that better than having to rip the paper. Now, when I finish here, I will move to the living room, the TV room, the TV room. That's what I'm going to do with my laptop and commence working on my opening animation for the logo for Tapas. And those of you who don't know what that is, I have finally committed. Boy, this stuff does not work near like what we're used to. And my fingers are stickier than the 5-minute art bites. I've already got 10 in the can, and I'll get my little animation done today, maybe. And then a quick edit of the film. Haven't decided how I'm going to present them yet. That's the thing, that's that. What else do we have down here? Dig down to the bottom, there might be some treasure. I thought there was something else on there. And I'll go let them in, even though it's sunny and fairly warm. And a little bit of fresh air never hurt anybody. This cork is pretty cool. I've got some little sheets of it that are just cork. They're not mounted on anything. Let me go let them in before they have a hysterical fit. What a pistol that girl is. BJ outweighs her by 7 pounds. Let's see, no, her by 4. And Cappy by 7. And she's younger than BJ by, let's see, 2 and 15. Cappy is about the same age. And she comes through that door with at least one of them she has their ear in her mouth. I think that might be a nice little touch. Robyn sits and does these at night. And I'm usually on the computer. Took a long time to break that habit, and now I'm getting back into it. Just put that down there sideways just because we can. You just tore off part of it. Okay, didn't need it anyway. Alrighty, there's a little tag. Doesn't matter which side, so just pop it in there and pull it through. And a little glue, never hurt anybody. Bone folder. See, I'm a good student. Just fray the ends a little bit. Yeah, all done. I'll do another thingy. Just start right there. Right there. Those are huge. Another piece of cardstock. It needs to be in a different bucket. This one can be a little bit bigger. So we have an assortment. Okay, let's put her down because I won't remember where I had them anyway. This is a scrap left over from some kind of a pocket or an envelope I was making. It's a little piece of a travel stamp I've got. If Rachel, if you're still here, I love what you put behind your printables. Works for me. Here, yeah, let's get something out of our little bucket, which is what I dropped a while ago. How about a stamp? I have used these when I would take an ink pad and go around the edges and darken it a little. Robyn does hers as she goes, but not me. No. There. Now, a little bit of nothing. Check with you guys again. Cool. You're just jamming right along there. I'm going to use this piece of green handmade paper. And that looks pretty on it, just as it is. Oh, and here, look at there. There's just a cute little piece of silver leaf, or whatever it is. Looks like silver. Let's see. Yeah. Now I'll wait just a minute for that to get sticky. And we'll just use that. I made some black tea the other day. It's nice to be able to put it in a sprayer with some alcohol and have it hold up, not mold or anything. There's a big old red thing. I'll trim it while I'm waiting on that glue. Randy made a little money today. That's a welcome thing for a retired couple. He's not retired, neither am I, but sounds good. So that can go on there. Our nephew has been married 6 months, and he and his little wife are going to sell the house that she owned and buy them one together. So that house closed today. They found one they wanted, and they're going to repaint it and everything before they move. A little bit of washi. So they closed on it today. Everybody's excited. That's some sticky washi. And you just put that right over where you were waiting on it to. Razzle dazzle. And we're going to put this on. Okay. Okay. I looked about 4 hours yesterday for the animation that floated my boat. Now I said we were going to put something else on there, so I think I just covered up my washi that I was so proud of. Nah, I don't feel like putting a little kid on there. One of these things. Came in a Happy Meal pack. Little journal doohickeys. Choose that male one. My tummy gurgled. My mom said that Dad, he'll be 94 in September or 95. Oh, good Lord. You know what that makes me? Had hardly been able to stand it until they could go see the house. And Randy was their realtor and very successfully was able to keep me and the rest of the family out of it. Yeah, that's kind of cute. And now he's going to get to do sell the other one. And his strategy for this neck of the woods, and real estate's different everywhere you go. But for this neck of the woods, there's usually plenty of inventory. But for the kind of house they wanted in the $200 to $250 range, and a single story, and in a particular neighborhood, or types of neighborhoods they wanted, there is no inventory. So they found this house and fell in love with it. And the realtors did something that's really weird for this area. They wouldn't accept an offer until They wouldn't show the house until Friday at noon, and wouldn't look at any offers until Monday at 5 o'clock. And there were like 5 or 6 people wanting to see the house at the same time. And E. So they went and looked at it and loved it. And Randy got them asked to bid $10,000 more than what the asking price was. And around here, you typically get a house for 10 to 15% less than the asking price. Well, here he was encouraging them to do that. And her family and my family about had a fit. Randy's been doing real estate 15 years. He's pretty darn good. And he had a theory that if these realtors weren't going to play ball like people around here normally do, he'd make up his own game. So the kids finally decided to go ahead and do that, offer $10,000 more. And then they went and left a note in the people's mailbox on Sunday night about why they wanted in that neighborhood and blah, blah, blah. With, I think they put a copy of their offer. I'm not sure. Anyway, Randy's theory was that this house would not appraise. They were asking too much for it in fishing. And if it didn't appraise, they couldn't sell it for that amount of money. Either that or the buyer would have to come to the table with more money, more cash, buying a house that the appraiser said wasn't worth that. So anyway, the kids went along with it. They're 24. And sure enough, the house didn't appraise. And the little realtor that had the listing hadn't been in the business very long, but she was trying real hard to pretend that she had been. Told Randy, she said, well, they're just going to have to bring money to the closing. And Randy says, no, your seller's just going to have to come down on the price because you'll have to put that appraisal in the record, and anybody else that looks at it's going to know that it didn't appraise. So you're going to have to end up selling it for that anyway. So sure enough, they ended up getting it. It was actually $5,000 or so less than the original asking price, and that's what they got. So of course the family's all, well, how did you do that? You can't do that. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do that. Just sit back and leave the driving to us. All right, let's go. Families are strange and wonderful things, especially in this hot politic time. My niece and her husband used a realtor that represented the seller and the buyer, and they were convinced they'd get more money. But the real estate company that he worked for is the one that we both worked for several years. And the kids thought that he would lower the commission because they were buying it from him. No. They keep both sides of the commission. That's what that's about. But they're not of the same political beliefs that we are. And but anyway, Josh and Jordan decided to use Aunt Randy, which tickled him to death, and ended up making a terrific deal for him. So that's good. Real estate has been dead here for a year. What he used to do 10 or 12 closings a month. Now down to 1 or 2 a year. That hurts. I don't know what E stands for. I think it could be everything. So, of course, Mom and Dad and who else knows? Oh, that's a cute little popper. Who else knows who's over there this afternoon? And I'd rather be with you guys, so I stayed here to do this. And what time is it? It is 5:30. I think it's time for me to quit. Hey, Nancy. Nancy is the sweetest. She always leaves me a note when she can't take part in chat. I was there. I'm going to pick through these pieces and put them back in my bucket. I don't think I used very many of them. They get down to a certain size. Throw them away. Throw away, throw away, throw away. Because I'll set these up. Well, I hope that glue comes off of there. I mean, I guess you got to use it, don't you? I've got that little tool. I guess it didn't make it into my scraper bin yet. And that's what it's for. Is to scrape stuff off here. There, that's most of it. I guess it's okay on the nonstick. Okie doke. Let's clean up a little bit. Put this in here. Well. My little leather thing. More scrap. Okay. Ooh. A little jar of treasures. Bucket of treasure, I should say. I'll put it in backwards so you can't see the label. You have 2 chances to get the label. I don't know where to put those. I'll deal with that tomorrow. There's that. That. That all goes in the tag drawer. Now then, we got a little bit done today. Thanks for joining me. Let's put something over that little Claire. And there you have it. Get some of this out of the way. I'm trying to be neat. It sure is hard. Okay, don't breathe. Alrighty. Thank you. It's hard for me to stick with it long enough to make a whole batch of them because I get bored. Joycey knows all about me getting bored. That's why I always have two things. You're welcome. And I'll be taking pictures of these because once I put them in Photoshop and cut them out, they go great as a printable. So I am so glad you guys stayed with me today and wished me luck on the scratch disc when I only have 22 gigabyte on my little SSD built in. And Final Cut Pro eats up every freaking bit of it for scratch discs. So, alrighty. You're welcome, Nancy. And I love your messages. All right. I love you guys. I'll put it over here. I love you. It's another reason I don't like matte medium. Okay. Bye. See you next Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend.